Welcome to our Aerodrome Committee meeting this morning. Welcome to those online, because there are a number of staff and Aerodrome sisters online as well. And welcome to the members of the gallery, public joining us today too. Just like to hand over now to Winner to introduce our topic.
That's you. Ini tu dia sekian tahun ini apa ini lah. Ini bukan ini nampak orang ni. Ini yang kita bukan. Ramai tahu silat ini kerja dengan kue. Tapi member kami hero Matamata-Piako dengan kita. Kami kue suakan kita silat tahun itu. Angkai mahi. Kau tahu ia tamai ana itu kau kata tini lah, kau yang kain itu, apa itu maksudnya nama tu ini sih kita yang sekian ini lah, ya rumah kita rumah yang mana kita nak kira dia mata ini lah, ya mata ini ngapa kau orang ni yang ini apa itu maksud maluan lo, kakak si kau mai yang mata ini ya, hiba nanga hai muri lo hai pakatan. Hoia no manaki hia ngā ko i ngā tāngata kua mai i tēnei rā, i runga i te pono, i tika me te ao, reire whai te matua, tēnei tā mātou ne inoi ki ao, e te whera i te tātou nei koe, i rote i te ngā tapu o tautama i te. Kia ora.
Move on now to our apologies for leave of absence. We haven't heard from Rangi Tionga. She's making the maternity thing. Thank you, members, for attending. Okay, any notification of urgent business, additional business? I don't believe there's anything come to light. So we'll move on to item number 5, which is the confirmation of our minutes, please, from 24th of October. Someone would like to move that recommendation. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Move Kevin Tippin. Seconded. We're not were you at the meeting? You're online. You're online. So I'll put the vote. All those in favour, please say aye. Against? Carried. Thank you. We have no public forum this morning. I'd now like to move into item 7.1. Is the appointment of the co-chairperson of the Waharoa Aerodrome Committee, and it's always sad to see a co-chair resign. Waharoa served the committee for many years, and we now welcome Runa into the role, and so we just need to confirm his report. And that we can feel that all is obviously needs to nothing more possible in duties which we have fully on alongside myself. It's wonderful to have him on board, and it's great to have you beside us, Winner. So Kevin, Kevin Hogan, seconder, James Thomas, all those in favour, please say aye. Yes. Carried. So our arrangement is at this point is to highlight the day of and really figure out how we'll work together as co-chairs going forward. She's outstanding on the second one. Yes.
Morning, Tato. So this report is just so that we can amend standing orders. Council adopted new amendments to our standing orders about a month ago, and it's so that the representatives or members on the quorum, can be present online under special circumstances, of course. By audio or visual link. There's also a request to extend the timeframes of the public forum and the deputations.
Question. we've just confirmed our minutes of our previous meeting and Bono was online. He's present, he was regarded as being present and part of the quorum, so he was able to second our recommendation.
So,
It's a technicality,
yeah.
but I just felt, yeah, you know, like this is something that
what he wouldn't have been considered as part of
the quorum.
last meeting.
Yes.
However, he was present and did hear what was said within the minutes, so.
Yeah. There was no years, but I just felt that I needed to just be clear that now it's straightforward that anyone online is now a full member of the meeting. Before it was a bit quasi.
Yeah.
It's probably the best way to describe it. So no, that's great.
Council has actually passed those down.
Under it, but at the same time, in October it hadn't been passed, so yeah, that's just that clarification.
And for today, because we do require 75% approval from the committee, we would require all members present to agree.
So we have a recommendation in front of us, and it is about members present. We have one member not, but that's still is today. So is there any further discussion on the standing orders? It's quite a straightforward one, and I think it does give that flexibility that the member is away, and when we do need to have 75% for a vote, it does make it a lot easier if there is a member that can't attend as a person is now able to, and we're able to continue. But I have to not have a meeting and not be workshop when you come. That's quite a significant, for a small group, that's quite significant. So no further discussions. I'll put the recommendation that the order be standing, the information be received, and that the standing orders be amended to reflect student consent for the company. Clause 10.5A, and also through our conditions in that, and then the standard orders are further amended to request time limit to request to speak in public forum, and it's to be made to chief executive for the delegation at least 3 clear working days before the meeting. Previously it was 1 clear day. Better if we have 3 clear working days. That does make sense because our agendas are already out, and so it's been a bit more time to start to compare. And deputations is another interesting one where it must be made to chairperson and delegate at least 8 working days before a meeting. And that's the deputations getting an opportunity to speak at a meeting. As we sit here, we get the public vote for the opportunity as a vote to speak. So this will also allow plan speaking to an item.
Yes, so they could bring a decision item to council or committee. Sorry.
Yeah. That's quite clear. So is there?
Can I just?
Well, it'll be chairperson or their delegate. So it'll be the yeah.
Sorry, speak. So the and this will find logical. The person on time is before, but the more they get vote.
It's all quality then you go, that's the change.
No, that's fine. That is good.
1 through to 3. Time 7 please. You have to second that recommendation? Thanks, Ethan. Vote, all those in favour, please say aye. Yes, very. Thank you. Just checking, Laura, we can see you online. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. That's all right. No, I just thought I'd better make sure that we were and check that, so that's great.
100%.
So that's okay. That's good. Just thought I'd better double check while we were space. Right, we will now move on to Item 8.1, which is the policy and bylaw consultation update. And that is
Kia ora, Madam Chair, and tēnā koutou katoa. He kaitohu kaupapahiri mā whanua taku tūranga mahi, ko Laura toku ingoa. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you all today.
Actually, Laura, could I just get you stop there for a sec? Because it is, can we turn the air conditioning down? I think we've called enough. Does anybody know how to operate the air conditioning without causing problems? Because it's quite loud and I think we'll take care of it. Online. We'll just pause for a minute. Shouldn't take long.
Very modern. I'm sitting in the backyard.
Yeah, it's just the air conditioning. I don't just want to
too bad
some of us can hear, but the public can't.
I could do stuff. Next door.
It's much milder this morning out there. It's a beautiful day in paradise.
Big super fog got it.
Oh, yeah, the fog at your place, yes. I didn't hear that fog.
This is paradise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's,
I'll just Google that word.
it's a lovely time of the year though, a lovely time of year.
Oh, yours.
Yeah.
Getting the burn piles down on the back.
We're on live stream, we're on live stream, team.
Trees.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's what
Chair, is that better? Can you hear me okay?
You might have to speak up, Laura, a little bit too, if you can.
Okay, is that better?
Is that better? Yeah, we haven't got any better, sorry.
Okay, all right. Well,
yeah.
hopefully this is okay. So this agenda item is just to provide an update following the recent round of formal consultation. We've been consulting on several policies and bylaws and also council's fees and charges. And so this was part of council's legislative obligations, and a number of policies and bylaws were actually due for review. So we were consulting on quite a number of different topics, and there was 7 in total. So we staggered that over a longer period than normal, from the end of February to the beginning of April. And that was just to allow a bit more of a targeted approach, and due to the varied number of topics. And so some community engagement that we undertook during this period. We attended some market days. We kind of got out and about. The mayor led a webinar, and we shared our messages through our normal channels, social media, emails, and our more traditional newspaper advertising. And we held a couple of workshops, one in Morrinsville. It was like a youth focus. So we're trying to get the views of people that potentially we don't traditionally hear from. And submissions could be made via our website, which is Korero Mai, Let's Talk. And we're also still offering the hard copy option, and they could be obtained from our offices or libraries. And you'll just see the report there, just outline some of the key themes that we received. We had 72 submissions across all of the topics. We have held a hearing that occurred on the 7th of May. And this is for submitters who wish to come along and talk to the councils and mayor about their submission. We had 7 speakers come along to that. And on the same day, council considered all of the submissions, both the verbal and written, and deliberated on the issues and actually adopted the final versions of these documents. And there were some changes made to the documents, and that was in response to the submissions received. And they will be available very soon on our website, and they will come into effect from the 1st of July. So this is that's in progress, and this is really just an update to keep you up to date with the process and to close the loop a little bit on this round of policy and bylaw reviews. And I'm very happy to answer any questions, and also in your next meeting we'll be coming to you with our next round of policy and bylaw review. So really just to close the loop on that one, and if you have any questions I'm very happy to answer them, and hopefully you could hear all of that okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Are there any questions? It's really just an update. The hearing followed through. And if there's no feedback, we'll,
And just comment if I can.
yep, sure.
Laura, and I'm looking at you Tuatahi, in terms of getting a wider reach with the Māori community, whether consideration has been engaging with our marae around the having access to their Facebook page. Was in terms of traditional sending flyers or letters to the marae, it's kind of restricted to those that attend the marae, and so the broader marae community don't get to see that stuff. And so I suppose as an educational tool, but also from a point of interest, the best traction might be actually having conversations with the marae and the Matamata-Piako district, actually put the stuff up on their marae page. You know, it's worth.
Because we always talk to mana whenua, bring it to mana whenua forum and us and how best to contact. I don't recall that ever being mentioned, but it's not in the forum anyway. So, Tuatahi, see what your
Yes, Gareth, Right. There was an information package that was sent out to my chairs in the district. A lot of the comments that was being made was it's really hard to kind of appreciate what that information really looked like and how to filter information in a way where it would be well received to the audience. And that was several of my trying to work along with you who were interested in maybe us attending. Timing just didn't wasn't quite right. I came in way. So a good suggestion that you say recognises that chair. I'm going to try and have a using the Facebook page and the platforms and maybe put a messaging across. We just might need that mark.
There'll be an option going forward because we did like this was started back. When was the pre-consultation, Laura?
October, November.
So it went back a long way. We talked to mana whenua right back in those early phases to reach out as to how we could connect. So this, you brought something else to the narrative.
And admittedly, one Bible was maybe 5 pages long.
Correct.
And one that had that information package. All our and so respect to our committee members who volunteered in time. Fully appreciate what's in those packages. It could have been overwhelmed. But we may need to look how we can be a bit more efficient. How that information can be discussed.
And potentially more of a summary, but this isn't a policy that's got some length to it, but at least if raise the interest, because the point here is some policies would be of more interest than others.
That you'd link through, I mean, you would actually put the policy on the Facebook page and say, this is what's coming up. Link, here's the link to FPDC. Because that's where all the information.
And of course, the submissions, you don't submit on everything. It's you can choose. So I think that's the conversation going forward. So thank you for raising that with us, Mana. It gives us some broader understanding of how we may achieve more engagement.
We're having the same conversation at City Council as well. How do we reach the Māori population? But targeted comms would be the sound bites, so having all those appropriate mechanisms in place actually check. Low hearing, low response rates.
And some of those sound bites actually won't be, like they could be just universal. They don't have to be specific, because it's trying to be efficient from a council perspective as well and engagement. Because we didn't have a lot of interest even from the general community. You'll see by the number of submissions we got. There weren't a lot of submissions. So this is where we landed. But thank you for that feedback. So I think that's really good to know. So I'd like to move, if there's no further conversation, I'd like to move the information be received, but also add feedback around an opportunity for staff to engage with mana whenua and via Facebook. There's a suggestion or something, just some feedback there. You're happy with that? It's really is to everybody, but of course.
But your mobile phone is an extension of your brain.
Yeah, and of course it is there because it would have been on Antino and on our council pages. So again, it's just broadening our reach. There's an opportunity to broaden our reach.
Yep.
Like second. All those in favour, please say aye. Very.
Kia ora, thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
Some of the other social media platforms as well.
There's another opportunity there, but I think it's for the purpose of today, we acknowledge that it is trying to engage with our mana whenua in a manner and so that they understand Right, we'll now move on to item 8.2, which is the district plan and legal update. And Sri is on this this morning. Sri. Probably should remove Rangy's nameplate down to the side. Yep. How are you? Good. Welcome, Sri.
Thank you. Kia ora koutou, everyone. So I'll just quickly run through the plan changes we have at the moment and just the district plan update. So for plan change 49 Waharoa, last month on the 3rd of April, we undertook a site visit. The governance group, technical experts, and local champions, just to gain a better understanding of the issues and possible solutions in those and key areas within Waharoa. We had lots of insightful discussion that occurred then, and since then our technical experts have been working on producing a traffic report and a set of draft provisions. Just moving on to plan change 54, Papakainga. We're currently working on a draft Papakainga toolkit, so we're near completion of this. We've also been working with members of the ED working group to organise a building to discuss matters related to executive connection and just to test run this toolkit document. We've also been working on a draft practice note, so this is sort of just to help the consent planners implement district plan Papakainga provisions and guide them through consent applications that come through. Private plan change 55 from Te Waitoa. A hearing was held on the 6th of May and we're sort of just awaiting the decision at the moment. Private plan change 57, Calcutta. Council staff are currently just working with the applicant on this. And in terms of plan change 61 national planning standards, in April, the revised PC 61 draft material was taken to council to seek approval for formal notification. Council has since approved the plan change for formal notification and we are undertaking preparation work at the moment. The formal notification period will start on the 27th of May and will close on the 26th of June 2025. We're also looking to hold information sessions during this time in each town, just engage with the public and our stakeholders during the during the formal notification period. There's also been a few changes through the RMA reform. So just quickly, through the third phase of the RMA reform, the government is proposing to replace the RMA with two new acts. The first act will be the Natural Environment Act. So this will sort of manage environmental effects arising from activities that use natural resources. The second act is the Planning Act, and this is intended to enable urban development and infrastructure. A consultation document is expected to be released in mid this year. So our policy team will be looking at making a submission on that. The bills to develop this legislation are expected to be introduced to Parliament later this year, and the new acts are intended to be law by mid-2026. Also following on from a consultation last year on granny flats, the government is looking to introduce a new national environmental standard for granny flats and Papakainga by the middle of this year, so those will be open for submission. And just lastly, on the Hauraki Go Forum, the last Hauraki Go Forum was held on the 3rd of March at WRC in Hamilton. Just some things to note at the meeting, Councillor Warren Mahir from Waikato Regional Council was formally appointed as co-chairperson after the election was held on that day. In recent times, also Lucy Barangwana was resigned from her role as executive officer and a replacement is being sought. March meeting sort of included a presentation from Environmental Law Initiative regarding High Court judgments, a presentation from WRC about the Ahuni Muri River Mine discharge event that happened in August last year, and concluded with updates from DOC and Fisheries New Zealand. The next forum is on Monday next week, so on the 19th of May in Auckland, so all the staff will be looking for the online. Happy to answer any questions.
Sri, any questions, clarification? There's a lot, it's just, there's plenty of resource consents happening in the council at the moment. These are the big ones and some of them have been going for a while, so it'll be good to, sounds great with the planning, to support Papakainga. I think that's a positive action to support the development. Any comments?
The national training standards. So it's suggested changes that they're not. How will they object? Just move on to them.
I think standards already sort of will fall into place with RMA reform.
Yeah.
So a lot of that sort of carrying over, but there will be new additions like the social plan will be created for the reform. So there'll be a regional social plan, and then our sort of growth strategy and sort of things like that will implement. Our MPDC stuff will kind of fall into those things. So yeah.
Yeah, it's probably quite timely to get these things. Completed, I think, is probably the point here. Pension 49 has been going for a long time.
Yeah.
We had so many private plan changes that it got put aside. We just didn't have the resourcing. Probably the comment here said this is we now have new planners in the office now. We're in a much better position than we were when COVID hit. That basically was a real handbrake for our council and getting consents, especially with the growth that occurred with the last few years.
So now to have a daily trust is just made a solution.
Yeah.
To the board and to each state.
Yeah, no. Yes, yeah, definitely. I think if we work together on that, we'll be a good submission.
So everyone aligned.
Yes, all the same page. Yeah.
To
Definitely, yeah.
arrangements.
So there's no other feedback or questions for clarification if someone with the report be received. Stephen? Stephen, this recommendation?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, thanks, James. All those in favour, please say aye. Against? Right, that's some procedures. Now we get into more in line with our commission is our reserve management plan review update, and got Mark presenting that online. Are you with us? I can see he's there.
Good
Morning.
morning. Sorry, I'm just having some
Morning.
issues
Speak
at this
up,
end.
please.
I hope you can hear me.
Very vaguely, if you can speak up a bit more.
Okay, can you hear me now?
It's much better,
Okay.
but you're going to have to keep your voice. I know you're quite quietly spoken, but we just need, you're going to have to project it to us this morning. Sorry, Mark.
All good. Good morning. I also have Anna on the line. I think Anna will probably be joining us shortly. I see she's there. So Anna from Exist has been assisting us in kind of leading this process. So just wanted to acknowledge her as well. Yes, so as we all know, lots of groups and individuals involved in the Aerodrome. And so there was the idea of forming representative groups to be able to have early input into the draft plan, and that was seen as being more efficient. Ultimately, everybody can still in future make submissions on the draft and be heard if they want to. And at the last meeting, there was the direction to try to have written agreements or MOUs with the two representative groups. And you'll see in your agenda, there is a draft MOU with the United Waharoa Aerodrome group. With the Mana Whenua group, discussions are still ongoing, so we're not at a point yet for an MOU to be signed. So we are seeking a delegation to the co-chairs to sign the MOU documents when they're ready to sign, just to keep things moving along. Because if we brought both of the complete MOUs, we'd have to bring it to the next meeting. And I guess terms of the content of the MOU, the MOU is really there just to clarify who the groups are representing and what the scope of this engagement is. So it's not, I guess, committing the committee or council to either do or not do anything. It's really just for clarification on who's represented by those groups and clarity about, what the stage of consultation is about.
Thank you, Mark. Anna, have you got anything you'd like to add? Welcome.
Thank you, Morena koutou. No, nothing to add, just that, I guess to thank the representatives that I have been engaging with for their time and energy, and keen to keep things moving if we can.
And we have Anna and Dave here this morning as interested parties. So is there any comment around this MOU? I think it provides probably a cleaner approach to have a group of, rather than have everybody in the picture, to have a representative group that's representing users is quite exciting way of moving forward. You're quite comfortable, obviously, this MOU's been to the users and they have given you feedback. Just interested to hear your thoughts around some of that navigation and creating this MOU with them, that you have the support of the user group. Thank you very much for us today.
The Māori.
Well, it's not in there yet, is it?
And you talk about the Ngāti Hoa representative group. I was under the belief that that group and the marae were not aligned.
I wouldn't say not aligned. I think there was a misstep in the process for getting clarity on the mandate of the representative group. So probably suggesting that they've had to step back to make sure that the step is covered. And so they're just waiting, as I understand it, for a meeting with the marae committee. That's been frustrated, mainly because we've had so many tangianga on the marae that we haven't been able to hold a marae there. So I think once we can have that marae committee week, then I think this kaupapa will be addressed.
That group will represent the marae.
Yeah, well, that's been.
If I got the impression they kind of stepped over them.
Yes.
That the group stepped over the marae.
Oh, like I said, I think there was a misstep.
Yeah.
And they're sort of doubling back to make sure that they tackle that step, which was have the conversation with the marae, what they intend around in terms of.
So that's why they haven't signed anything.
Yeah,
they've still got to sort that out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, no, it's not a major.
Yeah. So this is, yeah,
Sorry, if I could just comment, I just indicated to you, because actually I think it was you who recommended the MOUs, which the team agreed with. The other comment that was made very clear when we talked about this particular process was that any input from iwi into this process needs to come through the governance representatives. So our team are very conscious that we don't get in between that the relationship and the voice is as the iwi representatives on this committee determine. So the channel is through Rangi, Muna and Deacon. So we're taking the guidance from the representatives in terms of how that's communicated, how that's dealt with. So there's been, obviously we'd like that MOU to progress, but we are in the hands of the various representative parties, and we're thankful that our representatives are harnessing and directing that process.
good work.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. So obviously it's in draft form, so we've got to approve this MOU. The recommendation is the report be received and that the committee delegates to the Waharoa Aerodrome Committee co-chairs authority to sign a memorandum of understanding or similar agreements with the Unified Waharoa Aviators and the Matamata-Piako representative group. So at this stage we have one, and with the desire to work towards progressing of this. So any further time? Right, you. Okay, so if someone like to move second the recommendation, please. Move Kevin. Stephen, are you happy to second? Okay, all those in favour, please say aye. Yes, carry. Thank you, well done, Anna and Mark, and I think taking another step forward. And thank you to the group also to facilitate your engagement on this process. Now move on to item 8.4, which is the committee work programme update for May 2025. Very short.
Yeah, did you want me to present to it?
Yes, if you can, please.
I can't see.
It's very brief.
It was just that we agreed to review the work program at every meeting to ensure that we're hitting all of the correct cover that in our agenda items. So yes, there was all of the ones that were expected, the Aerodrome Reserve Management Plan, bylaws, policies and plans, as well as the district plan update have all been completed today. The community facilities update will be completed at the September meeting, as they had other conflicting commitments to attend to and couldn't make the agenda. I guess the question would be, is there any other?
It's just getting that the RMP is our to create that certainty and to move forward.
What happened to the discussions around the fence? For example, or is that like disappears or stuff like that?
Some of it has, yeah, good way of putting it. There's nothing, nothing more has been followed from that. I will talk to you later, Kevin.
Whether they have set the fence boundary, enabling their partner, maybe and see, so a little bit.
Yeah, the yeah, right. Well, if you're happy with that, we'll just we can always update anyway. If something else comes up, everyone's open to adapting. Something of interest has to come through and plan.
If you like, we can send the what's on the work program for the September meeting just prior to the meeting, and offer for other reports to be heard on that date if there was anything of interest.
Question. So with the elections happening this year,
I can bring that one to the committee. Yes.
Alrighty. Oh, well, someone like to move that the information be received, please. Thanks. Luna?
Yep.
Seconder? James? All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Right, that is all our business for the meeting. So if you'd like to do our closing here, thanks, Luna.
tēnei kua whakairinga kaupapa ki te rangi, ana kua tau kua pai nei kua ia. A koe anō kaupau e kutani nei ki wainami a mātai tēnā tātou. A koe anō kaimata. Kia tau ki a tātou katoa te ata whai o tātou ariki ai karaiti. Me te aroha o te atua te whiwhinga taikitanga ki te wairua tau. Ake, ake, ake.
We haven't actually got